There are only three things that should be coming out of our mouth in the first call or meeting with prospective clients. And really, it's for two reasons. One, it makes it easier for us because we've only got three things to do. Two, more importantly, it delivers the best result for our prospective clients. It builds rapport and they leave the meeting better than when they came in. When we started doing this at Streamline, we saw a noticeable change in how these meetings went and a change in how these people decided to go from prospective client to becoming a client. So I want to share the three things, and then also the mistake that most advisors make in the first meeting that really doesn't seem like a big deal, but it's detracting from the meeting. And I actually did this for the first 7 years of intro meetings. And by the way, I'm Dave Zoller, if I haven't met you yet, and myself and Tim own Streamline Financial, a wealth management firm in the Chicago suburbs. And we started this channel really for advisors and business owners so we can share what's working for us to get to this point so that hopefully it can help you too. And if you'd like our entire process and how to communicate your value in the first meeting using this 4-part value formula, look in the description below for a free training. So the prospective clients that we're talking to, they're looking for help and they have some sort of problem and they're hoping that we know how to solve it, right? So it seems logical that we'd want to show how we can help them and really give them some solutions in that first meeting that helps show our value, right? Well, this is what I did for the first 7 years, but let me tell you, once I stopped doing this and instead focused just on these three things I'm going to share, the meetings went 10 times better. And really, the reason why this works is because our prospective clients, the only way they'll fully receive our advice and recommendations is if they know and feel that we truly know what their problems are. And the reason they work with you is a result of how understood they feel. I'll say that one more time. The reason they work with you is a result of how understood they feel. If we can move away from the problem solving in that first meeting and instead focus on connecting and getting them to feel understood, that's going to be big. So then we can truly diagnose their problem. Then we can communicate the solution to the problem in the next meeting. So the only three things that should be coming out of our mouth in that first meeting is one, questions. You and I both know that, but there's some specific questions that work better than others. I'll put a link to another video with the best first meeting questions in the description below. And then also one of the modules in the advisor value formula has our entire framework of the questions we ask and when the right time to ask them is. And I'd really actually be interested to hear from you. What are some of your favorite questions that you ask in the first meeting? Put them in the comments below. The second thing that comes out of our mouth in that first meeting is just restatements. So after they say something important, we're writing it down and we're getting their exact quotes because we're going to use that in this meeting and then also in future meetings. And repeating what they said is kind of like a magic way to really have them feel understood, like you truly get them. It's actually called mirroring and it's a powerful persuasion strategy. But just by repeating what they said, you're understanding them in a deeper way. And there's one more thing, but I also want to share what to do if you get a lot of questions from them in the first meeting and then it kind of throws the flow of the meeting out of whack. But first, if you're liking this video so far, and if you're a financial advisor and you like the idea of learning from other practicing advisors, be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss the next video we do. We usually do about one per week. So that third thing that we're saying in that first meeting is short stories or anecdotes. That's the third thing. And telling them stories that communicate you know their problem and that you have clients with similar problems or situations as them, and stories that illustrate what they're going to experience as a result in working with you. We've got really a list of the 5 stories that we will use almost all the time in our first meetings, or one of them usually we'll pick, because we're talking to people who are all close to retirement or already retired, and they care about, yes, they care about their investment plan, but also about tax planning and income and withdrawal strategies. So you'll have to find your own stories and use your own stories based on your own experience. And then also I go deeper into why we chose some specific stories that we use, and I go into deeper in the value formula course if you end up joining me in there. Out of those 3 things that we just talked about, what we say in the first meeting, did you notice that none of them was educating them or solving their problems in the first meeting? As advisors, we know very soon, usually in the first meeting, that what we can do to help our prospects right away, and we know what the answer is. And really, because we like helping people, we'll start to talk about solutions to their possible pain that they're feeling. And it's a noble thing to do. But we have to fight that urge to teach them or give them advice in the first call. It's not easy, but it's important. It's only going to detract from the objective of the meeting if you start to try to provide solutions right away. And we first have to make sure they feel understood and that we have that connection so that they're ready to receive the advice and the recommendation in the next meeting, which is the one-page plan delivery meeting. One other thing that may come up, what if they ask about your firm, or they start asking a lot of different questions in the first meeting that kind of detracts from the flow of your meeting? Well, obviously we want to answer those questions, but really, say they ask about the firm. We've got about 7 bullet points or 7 points that we want to share, and it's kind of in the form of a story about our firm. So again, it kind of falls into that anecdote, number 3 of the 3 things we should be doing. So think about this in the next meeting that you have. Those 3 things: questions, restatements, and then anecdotes. I hope this video was helpful for you. Subscribe if you're an advisor so that I see you in the next video. And if you've got questions, put them in the comments below, and then I'll talk to you then. Take care.